It's Judgment Day. I'm the judge with Hydra Fitness Exchange. I have the better part of 20 years of experience in both sales and service, commercial, residential. I'm the judge with Hydra Fitness Exchange. The reason why they call me the judge is because I have the better part of 20 years of experience in both sales and service, commercial, residential. So I've seen a lot of fitness equipment, and I know you're out there doing a lot of research online. You're trying to figure everything out. Well, we're gonna help you out today and kind of boil it down in a short video. So the main reason why you're buying this is you are trying to conveniently work out in your home. You're trying to get your heart rate up over time. That's all it is. You're not buying this as a piece of furniture. It doesn't look the greatest. You're putting it probably in your basement or garage, but it is convenient. So I just want to remind you of that before you go on and scour the internet and go to 1,000 different retailers. It really is quite intuitive. But today we're gonna start reviewing track-based. Track-based ellipticals are basically ellipticals that have a track with a glide roller on them. There's some different ones and things to look for, and we're gonna go over all that. Number one thing, I would say the pros of a track-based elliptical, in general, not always, they are available at lower prices, and they're pretty much available at any fitness retailer, Dick's, or any specialty retailer in your area. So that's nice. Some of the cons, just to consider this, is that if not designed well, the tracks can be in the sweat zone. So I am on the elliptical, right? I'm exercising, and the straight down area of the elliptical is called the sweat zone. Literally 30 to 40 minutes in your workout, you're gonna be dripping wet, hopefully. It's gonna be landing on the machine. As you can see right here on this sole, for example, what's nice is they've moved the rails back and just have this dummy area here where sweat can land, and there's really no repercussions for that. You're supposed to wipe these things down after every usage. We see almost no one doing that. So if the tracks were forward, like here, look on this sole. This is an older design, right? You have the track system. You're gonna be sweating on that. There's gonna be a lot of sweat, dirt. It's gonna attract hair, all sorts of nasty stuff. So the negative, one of the negatives of the track-based machine is the fact that it is higher maintenance. These parts wear out quite a bit because people don't do maintenance like the way they should, wiping them down after every use. Another thing is sometimes on older machines or entry-level machines, you're gonna have, they can kind of, without you knowing, they can jump track. I mean, you know, you got a busy day, you're not really looking, you want to get your workout on, you're not analyzing the machine, right? You're just gonna get on it and start using it. Well, what happens when I start using this machine in its current state? Stuff's gonna break instantly. So, and it doesn't take much to do it on some models. So like a vacuum cleaner can kick it off, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you moved it and you forgot. But with all the reviews, I just want to make a comment about all the reviews out there. They don't matter. I'm gonna say it again. They absolutely don't matter. The thing that matters is that you like it, okay? It feels good to you. Because if it feels good to you, you're gonna use it. And again, circling back to what I said in the beginning, the whole reason you're buying this is to get your heart rate up over time. And if you like the way it feels, you're gonna use it more. You're gonna be on it more often, and your duration is gonna be longer, which means better results. So you can't read about this. You have to actually go out and try these things and kind of go out there with a open mind, right? Reviews are a business. They skew things online, and you know, you could be led down a dark path just because, you know, someone got paid out on a review. So that's all I'll say about that. Some things to look for on Ellipticals, like some things to consider, right? How many users are going to use it? What are their heights? You know, I've put people on machines that were in the same household, 6'4" and 5'2". So if you're buying one machine, you have to buy one machine that works for both body types, okay? And that's important, you know, that's why you have to get on it, right? So there are things to look for, you know, to accommodate those situations, like multi-grip handles for one, right? Someone that's shorter can kind of grab lower. You have other, you know, if I have a wider frame, I can grab on the outside, narrower frame inside. The last thing you want to do is get an elliptical, and Michael, why don't you go over here? The last thing you want is to be pulled forward, like my arms are pretty long, but if I was 5'2" and I only could grab this bar like up here, right? And you notice that creak? Do you hear that creak? Another negative, right, to track-based ellipticals. They're prone to squeaking and creaking. I'll just point that out. So if I was 5'2", I'd be getting pulled into the front of the machine, creating an arc in my back. That's not going to be comfortable. I'm not going to want to get on a machine where I'm putting pressure on my lower back. Ouch! So that's something to look out for and consider. I'm not going to talk about all the electronics. You can decide for yourself, right? This is true for both suspension trainers and, which are different than track-based. Suspension trainers are elevated and sealed ball bearings, whereas track-based I already described. You can decide on the electronics. You know, Peloton made the apps really popular, working with trainers, tracking results, all that sort of stuff. You can go more basic, you know. But the thing I will say is that if you do go with more advanced electronics, you will have probably a higher chance of more things going wrong electronically. And that's not knocking any particular name brand. The more advanced they get, it's just the way it is. So I covered, you know, some things to look for, right? Everyone gets hung up on stride length. Irrelevant, completely irrelevant. If you're 6'10" and you like an 18-inch stride, buy an 18-inch stride. Don't necessarily not buy an 18-inch stride because someone said not to do that. Get on the machines and try them out. Like this one, for instance, has about a 20-inch stride. The pattern your feet make on an elliptical, this is a low impact exercise. What this is supposed to be doing is mimicking your walking or running pattern, right? With no impact. Your feet never leave the surface. It's always on the surface, right? So there's no impact. So every single machine you see out there has a little bit different profile on the ellipse. Some are more like flatter, some are shorter, longer. It really all depends. I could tell you one thing, if you're looking at a $300 elliptical new on your favorite platform, how much money did they invest in that research to develop those biomechanics, right? The thing that your body's moving through, that path, that range of motion. Last thing you want to do is buy something that causes more problems with your knees and hips, okay? So big things to consider. Has nothing to do with electronics, right? If this is all about design, fit, right? How your body works with it. Again, you're going to have to go out and try these things out. So to reiterate, you know, the tracks are a little bit more of a handful with the cleaning. Consider biomechanics. And we're going to cover actually the famous debate on rear drive versus front drive. All right, I'm at a rear drive machine. So this is another track based with wheels, as you can see. The drive system, as opposed to the sole, is in the rear part of the machine. The sole had it in the front. Like I said over there, it doesn't matter. If you love the Precor and you lost 100 pounds on it, buy the Precor, okay? But, you know, listen to your body. Really, I'm serious. If you have a bad knee or hip, like, try something out like incline and see if that hurts. You know, if it doesn't hurt, then go with it. If it's aggravating it, or you know it does, stay away from incline. And that's exactly what we're at. We're at a machine a track-based elliptical that has incline. So that's another option in the track-based realm. So the one over there, a flat stride and an incline. This is also an incline-based track with glide roller elliptical. Okay, and this is a Precor. What you're gonna see with price point is better materials all the way around, right? So this one actually has like a higher grade steel in the frame all the way around. A little bit more money invested in biomechanics. This has moving arms. It has obviously moving lower body, and you have incline. It's not for everyone. If you have a knee problem, the higher the incline, Michael, if you want to take a look, the higher the incline, the more my knee goes ahead of my toe. I have a bad left knee. I can feel this right now. So like if I could feel that, and that's what happens on an incline. If I could feel that, that's not going to be great over 40 minutes. So, you know, for me with my bad left knee, I'm probably going to stay away from anything with incline. Okay. So this has an actuator that goes up and down and moves the incline. That increases intensity. Again, coming back to the first section of this video, what does that do? That just affects heart rate. The higher the incline, the more it impacts your heart rate. It's easier to get your heart rate up with a steeper pitch. So I think that if you were to look at the way your body moves on an incline-based machine, it's probably doesn't mimic natural motion in real life, but if that's what motivates you, go ahead and go for it. Now we're gonna cover another machine over here, and it's similar to the Soul in that it's front drive, but there's a lot more design biomechanical considerations in the Octane. One of the things is if you look down here, and this is something to look at in all the ellipticals, see the gap between the pedals? Your feet, your right foot is here, your left foot is here. I mean, it's a very thin space, and they call that the Q factor. That's the distance between the pedals. The nice thing about a low Q factor, which is a small distance between the pedals, is that it mimics natural running motion. If you were to just envision for a second you were running down the beach and you look back at your footprints, it would be what? It'd be like a straight line, right? You're not running like this, right? People will probably laugh at you at the beach if you ran like that. So I keep circling back to what I've originally said is, you know, you want to buy something that you're going to use the most because that's how you're going to get the best results. Well, in my mind, that's the one that feels most natural. That's a big feature. Look at that spacing. Ask yourself, do I walk like this? Do I run like this? And again, that's where you have to try these things out. As you can see, multi-grip handles. One interesting thing here is look at a more advanced feature. Now, something like this costs a lot of money to design and engineer, more so than, you know, stuff you'll see at a department store, right? Notice the rotation. You see that, Michael, right here? So that's a feature that's pretty unique with Octane. That's a converging motion, right, for the upper body. So if I'm 5'2", and I'm grabbing non-multi-grip handles, just like a pole, and I'm going like this, right, with my body and getting pulled into the machine, ouch, you know, I hate my elliptical. I ain't gonna use that. It'll be on Facebook Marketplace in like, you know, within a year. What's nice about this is when I'm running, just like my lower body, my upper body converges. That's how this moves. It's moving to the inside. Again, track-based. Downside is that sweat and dirt and debris. It is what it is. Okay, you're just gonna have to clean it up more often than say like a suspension trainer. Michael, just show them real quick, like something like this, how it's like elevated. We'll get into that on the next video, but this is, these are all things to consider. And you know, what we're gonna do is, in the description of the video, we're going to scour the internet for you and put in the best track-based ellipticals based on price, you know, a budget buy, and then kind of one in the mid-range, maybe with or without incline, and then also, you know, a premium option, maybe two. Really, that's what you want. You want to kind of go into these stores with, you know, just a couple options and then try them out and select the one that works best for you. The last thing you want to do is have 30 ellipticals to try, because you will get paralysis by overanalysis. It's not rocket science. Just ask yourself, can I get results on this? Do I like it? You can tell within 20 minutes. So I'm glad you tuned in. We're gonna have some great links on what we think is the best option in these categories, but ultimately it's up to you, how it feels to you, your body, physical limitations, and users. One thing I forgot to mention, and this is a really big deal, especially if you're putting the elliptical in the basement and you have someone in the house that's taller, like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", is the step-up height of the elliptical. You know, that's a big challenge with ellipticals in general, whether it be suspension or track. This has a very low step-up height. I want to say around only 7 inches. So if you're 6'2", you would add 7 inches, that's 6'9". So then you can measure your ceiling and figure out whether or not you can use it. But there are machines out there that send you sky high, like 15, I've seen as high as 18 inches added to your height, which, you know, for a lot of basements, and if you're a taller user, you're not going to be able to use it. So keep that in mind. All right, that's it for Judgment Day. The judge has spoken. Hey, if you want us to comment on a machine you're looking at, go ahead and put the make and model in the comments, and we'll respond below. And if you like what you saw here, if you found it helpful, please like and subscribe.